Ahoy, this is Zdenka. In this video, let's go through the best Insta360 X5 camera settings to get your footage looking from this to this during the day and from this to this at night. It's easy to bring the footage to the next level. Let's cover audio as well so you can improve audio from this. Now I'm filming outdoors, it's a bit windy day, to this sound. So now the audio should be fairly clear. I'll add some more tips and show you how to use the latest accessories that were provided by Insta360. Before we start anything, make sure you have your Insta360 X5 updated to the latest firmware. The same goes to the Insta360 app and Insta360 Desktop Studio, as there are many new features and settings I will show in this video. Once you connect the camera to the Insta360 app, there will be a prompt if there is a new firmware available. However, you can also go to Me page and scroll down to firmware version. Let's start with filming in automatic mode during the day, and then we'll build it up all the way to manual settings. The first thing I am going to do is swipe down and hit Settings. Let's scroll down and select Image Settings. Here are two important settings that I would like to point out. Bitrate is first. There are two choices, Standard and High. Standard is set by default, and this will give you smaller sizes, but also lower video quality. Naturally, let's switch it to High to get better quality. Let's go back and select Video Sharpness. There are three choices, High, Medium, and Low. High will give you this really over-sharpened look. It's much better to select Medium or Low. I personally keep it at Medium. Low is for those who want to add certain amount of sharpness later on in the post. Let's close Settings and go to Video Mode. Let's go to Resolution and Frame Rates. The high resolution you select, the less choices you will get when it comes to frame rates. 8K resolution offers 24, 25, and 30 frames per second. If you need to film in higher frame rates, such as 60 frames per second, you need to go down to 5.7K. If you need to film in 120 frames per second slow motion, you need to bring it down even lower to 4K. That is the only time I would bring it down to 4K though. Let's say we want to film just a regular video. If you will be filming during the day and it's a clear sky, very sunny, it is best to film at 8K 30 frames per second. I have currently also standard color profile enabled. In this resolution, active HDR is not supported. However, you can enable adaptive tone. What is adaptive tone? When this feature is on, the camera will record more information when it comes to color and more details in bright and dark areas. Once you open the footage in the Insta360 app or studio, it will adjust the exposure based on where you frame the shot. So wherever you move the view, it will adjust on its own. Adaptive tone feature is also available in 5.7K 30 frames per second with HDR on. We are going to go there next. It is also available in pure video mode, which is used for night filming. What you should also know is that this new feature will drain your battery a little bit faster, and also the export times will be longer. So if you don't want to use this feature on a bright sunny day, and you are still finding that the details in highlights are overexposed, you can lower the exposure value to -0.3 or even -0.7. Let's move to a different daylight scene. And that is backlit scenes, scenes with a very wide range of shadows and highlights, and general indoor scenes. Now it's time to talk about the 5.7K 30 frames per second setting. When you film a regular video in 8.K at 30 frames per second, you will get results like this. The backlit scene will have really overexposed areas. The reason I lowered the resolution from 8K to 5.7K is that I can enable active HDR that captures a wider dynamic range, so it balances highlights and shadows in real time. It will handle such a bright and dark scenes better. Once you enable active HDR, you have also a choice to enable adaptive tone, so you can get even better results in a post. I have covered automatic filming during the day. Let's cover nighttime. Let's leave video mode and select pure video instead. If you will be filming in automatic mode, you want to select 8K resolution and 30 frames per second. This is the footage you are going to get. For best results, you can also enable adaptive tone, as it will adjust the exposure in the post. As I mentioned earlier, adaptive tone feature will drain your battery faster. There is a new battery I would like to show you. It just came out. I'll link it below for those interested. This new X5 Ultra battery has a larger 2800 mAh capacity. You'll get 18% longer runtime and faster charging. 80% of the battery will be charged in 20 minutes. Let's return to pure video mode. If you need to film at night with a single lens instead of 360, it's now possible, as single lens pure video has been added. This is a video shot in 4K, 30 frames per second. Let me give you another tip. If you're still pressing manually the record button on the camera to start and stop recording, there are other ways, much easier. Let me show you. There are 3 other ways you can control the camera. If you swipe down to pull out settings and go to second page, you can enable gesture control, voice control, and twist to shoot. I tried all 3 of them. I used the twist to shoot a few times. Once it is enabled and you are, for example, in video mode, ready to record, all you have to do is twist the camera 2 times. The second option that I use personally the most is the voice control. Once you enable that, you can use any of these listed voice commands to control the camera. Take a photo, start recording, stop recording, mark that, and shut down the camera. I have an accent, obviously. English is my second language, so sometimes I argue with the camera, but overall, it works well. The third option is gesture control. I honestly don't use that one too much because I like to wave my hands when I'm talking. I simply don't want to turn off the recording by accident. If you, however, prefer this option, palm is to start and stop recording, peace sign is to take a photo. We covered a lot when it comes to filming in automatic mode. Before I continue with manual camera settings, let's cover sound. Right now you're listening to the sound just from the internal microphone. Now I'm filming outdoors, it's a bit windy day, so it's highly recommended to enable strong wind reduction. Swipe down to get to settings. Swipe left to get to the third page where you find audio settings. As you can see, right now I'm using the built-in microphone. Below is where you can enable wind noise reduction, weak or strong. I like to use the strong feature. If you want to get better sound, using an external microphone is a must. I've got here 2 options. The first option is Insta360 Mic Air. It's a mini wireless microphone, and the best part is you don't need to use a receiver with X5. No need to plug in anything as it is already integrated with the camera. This microphone captures high quality 48 Hz audio, and it also has noise reduction option. Right now you're listening to the sound from this teeny weeny tiny microphone. It's very little. That's something I really like about this. I don't have noise reduction enabled on this one, so this is a typical sound you're gonna get. I'm standing next to traffic. So let me change that and enable noise reduction. Now noise reduction is on. The sound should be quite different. You should be hearing a bit less of the traffic. Again, the sound should be very clear. Let me know in the comments below, what do you prefer? If you prefer the internal sound from Insta360 X5 or this teeny weeny microphone, or the third option I'm going to test shortly. There is one more feature on this microphone. The mic also works as a remote. When you press the button, you can start or stop recording. This is a great minimalistic setup. Again, all the gear I'm showing in this video is listed below in the video description. If you are someone who is into action sports or just likes gear in general, yeah, that would be me. Another solution when it comes to microphones will be this all-in-one system. GPS preview remote with built-in microphone. In this video, I will mainly cover the microphone part. There are two modes on this remote: remote and audio mode. I'm going to select the audio mode. If you swipe down to get to settings, you will see audio recording settings. When you are filming outdoors, you can enable AI noise reduction. There are two levels available: strong and normal. Low cut is on by default. You can adjust microphone gain and bit depth. I selected 32-bit. The default setting is 24-bit. This microphone also has storage, so you can record your audio to X5 and also save a copy here as a backup. There is a lot of storage. It shows me that there is 8 hours and 11 minutes of recording time available. Let me place wind muff over the microphone and take it outside. The wireless audio transmission is up to 160 meters. That is very far. As you can see, I have the remote on me, so this is the sound you're going to get from this external microphone. I should be heard much closer opposed to when you were listening to built-in microphone on the Insta360 X5. I don't have noise reduction enabled, so you're most likely hearing a lot of traffic. I have enabled AI noise reduction, so now the audio should be fairly clear. Hopefully there is enough of a difference. I don't know. I will hear the sound once I get back to the studio. So this is the sound you're going to get from this remote/external microphone with AI noise reduction enabled. This was sound mode. Let me quickly show you what else this can do. When I'm on the home page and swipe, I get to GPS. When I hit the remote mode, I see the camera preview and I can control pretty much all camera settings. The menu is the same. There are many accessories with it, so you can wear it on your wrist. When you turn your wrist 2 times, the camera will start filming. You can also attach it to the invisible selfie stick and control the camera with voice. I used it when I was using the Insta360 chest mount for POV shots. It was quite handy to see what was happening on the screen. We took a little break from video settings. I hope you're ready for more because it's time to cover manual filming. Here's the difference between automatic and manual mode. It's the natural motion blur. You can achieve this look with manual camera settings and ND filters. You might be wondering, but we already have motion ND effect in the app. That's enough. Well, it's not as precise as using ND filters. However, if you want to achieve strong motion blur, you can combine them both. Let's start with the filters first. There are 3 of them: ND16, 32, and 64. The higher the number, the stronger the filter is. ND16 filter is ideal for overcast or cloudy days. ND32 is suitable for cloudy or partially sunny weather. And ND64 is to be used on very bright sunny days. As I'm filming on a bright sunny day, I'm going to choose ND64 and attach it to the camera. Once you install the ND filter, menu will pop up on the screen. I'm using ND64, so let's select that. Right now, I'm filming in 8K 30 frames per second. HDR is not supported, and I have adaptive tone off because I want to film in manual mode. When it is on, you can only film in automatic mode. let's swipe left and select manual mode. I'm going to leave the color profile on standard to make it simple. However, if you're someone who is skilled in color grading, a flat profile is available. If you lower the resolution down, you can also film in iLog footage. For the rest, let's leave it on standard. Let's select shutter speed. Since I'm filming at 30 frames per second, I have to double the shutter speed. I'm going to select 1/60th. ISO is next. Let's select 100, which is the lowest ISO possible. I also read somewhere that you can leave the ISO on auto and it's still going to give you good results. You can try that if you wish. I'm going to stay with 100. The last thing I'm going to adjust is white balance. Since it is a sunny day, I will go with 5600 Kelvin. I have to note here that many times I have left the white balance on auto and the results were always great, so it's really up to you if you want to set that manually as well. Let's film some shots and then I'll give you tips for exporting the video with ND filters. When you open up the footage in Insta360 Studio, you have to select what ND filter you used. When you use action cameras, you lock shutter speed and use ND filters, it is kind of clashing with the stabilization. Sometimes you end up with this jitter effect that is not very nice. What I did to get rid of it, I went to stabilization type and selected jitter restoration, which is a new setting. Give it a thumbs up if you found this video helpful. Don't forget to subscribe for more. And I'll see you in one of those videos next. Ciao, ahoj!